Good morning. My name is Julie, and I'm one of the women behind the Ruth Experience. We are so grateful to be partnering with Faithbox in taking over the devotionals for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We are especially loving this theme of friendship in July. It is just one of our heartbeats. And I am especially loving this conversation about the friendship between Ruth and Naomi. This is my favorite friendship in scripture. There is so much depth and so much wisdom that God shows us between the journey these two women are on, both with one another, but then also with God. I am in central Minnesota. I am married to Aaron. I have two children, a daughter in 7th grade and a son in 5th grade. And so with that short introduction, let's jump into today's devotional. We're picking up in Ruth chapter 2, verse 22. Naomi is speaking to Ruth here, and she says, "Do as he said, my daughter. You might be harassed in other fields, but you will be safe with him." She's talking about Boaz, right? Boaz has offered to allow Ruth to glean exclusively in his field, and Naomi is telling Ruth that Boaz is a safe person. As we know, contextually, culturally in that time, it was a very dangerous thing to be a widow. And it was a very dangerous thing to be gleaning in strangers' fields. And so Boaz has offered her safety, and Naomi is saying, like, he is a trustworthy person. You should follow his offer, take him up. And so let's get into today's reading. It says, "Have you ever had a friend offer you advice or insight that protected you from a dangerous or harmful situation? Maybe they advised you not to get into that relationship or not take that job, or maybe they simply offered a word of caution before you proceeded onto your next venture. Regardless of the context might have been, aren't you glad they were willing to speak up and offer direction?" Naomi cared about Ruth, so she encouraged her to stay away from a situation that could have been dangerous and put her in harm's way. While we may not always be the best at adhering to the warnings or guidance from our friends, we ought to be grateful to have people in our lives who are willing to speak the truth in love, as Ephesians 4:15 states. What friends in your life have helped you steer away from potentially dangerous situations? I am a licensed attorney. I practiced for 15 years, and so I have given my fair share of really hard advice to people, trying to steer them away from dangerous situations, either legally or just dangerous situations. And so I recognize how hard it is to be the person who says no. And that means I value my friendships with women who are willing to speak that hard truth into my life. My friend Sina and I have that kind of a friendship. She and I, over the years, have said to one another, "Have you heard from God on that? Are you jumping ahead of God? Are you waiting? Or are you trying to solve this under your own power?" We are very alike in our personalities and that we are problem solvers. And on more than one occasion, we have said to one another, "You're right. I was jumping ahead of God instead of waiting." And waiting on God is always the best. He always has the best solution instead of us trying to solve it on our own. So that's my personal example of having a friendship with somebody who keeps me out of danger, who is active in maybe telling me no or giving me hard advice. We wrote a book, as Kristen said, all about friendship. This is just a sampler. The actual book is 365 devotionals. It's the 1 Year Daily Acts of Friendship. We write the books we wish we had. And this idea of friendship, we realized that friendship is hard. And we did not learn how to do friendship. We've had to sort of muddle through and figure things out as we went. And so we wrote all of the good, the bad, and the ugly about friendship, the things we wish we knew as younger women, the things that older women have taught us. This book is for the woman who's already in really healthy friendships. It's for the woman who is waiting on God to bring her healthy friendships. And it's for our girlfriends, just as an encouraging reminder about how God has created us to be in community, how our faith journeys are more fun, more adventurous, but then also a deeper and a more abiding faith when we have other women to journey along with us. You are welcome to partner with us on Instagram or Facebook. We are constantly talking about friendship and in all the different ways that it impacts our life, especially right now during these various seasons of isolation and quarantining and safe distancing. We're having lots of conversation around that. So may God bless you in your friendships. May He really allow you to think about today's questions and ponder how you have been that voice of truth in other people's lives, but then also how maybe other people have been that voice of truth in your life. Have a good day. Be blessed.